All right, let me try to get through this video real quick. But Housewives of Atlanta, season 16, episode 13, chapter 1, reset. So, we know that the girls are going on this Grenada trip. So, Shamia and Kelly is packing up these donations, getting things together, catching up, Kelly with her divorce stuff, Shamia and Portia doing good. Her and Drew beef. Not really much on her part, but sure. Brittany show up. According to her, she got her information about donations a little bit last minute. It's just to help out the country a little bit. The hurricane because this will be like last year, kind of, went through and messed up some things. So, of course, let's try to, be nice while we're there. And give back, blah, 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 blah. And, catching up with her about that party because that party was a mess, okay? Like, the cameraman, I wish he would have caught more of the audience. Like, where's our food? Things like that, just to kind of verify that, yeah, it was real messed up. But we're going to put the blame on the event planner, okay? But listen, you hired the person, so let's just put some of the blame on yourself, okay? It was whack. Now, Drew and Portia sit down, and I kind of feel like, was it an? It might. I think it was an anticipated moment. We was kind of waiting on this when it was gonna come, and it finally gets here, and there's no resolve at all. Portia ends up getting up because they're doing a tit for tat in this conversation. They kind of go straight into it, but before we get there, we notice that the wig that Drew had on was actually go naked, even though she's not an ambassador and things like that. And Portia over there trying to shade it, but hey, listen, you can sell the hair. It's up to the girl who puts it on to make sure that she keeps it together and styles it right. Right? You get it? Okay. Anywho, the filming with Dennis thing is what initially upset her. Drew was trying to tell her we could have been nipped that in the bud by having a conversation a long time ago to have an understanding that we were working together and that was it. Strictly business, nothing personal. But then you go ahead and go film with Ralph. So, and when you film with Ralph, you're doing what you did not want me to do, which was bash me in the process. I didn't bash you, she didn't bash you in the process with Dennis, okay? But you did with Ralph, okay? So, this tit for tat thing, I don't know. That's why we're not getting no resolve, because then Drew brings up how Portia threw out the rumor that she was sleeping with Black or whatever. And it's Black. I'm like, damn, ain't that Candy baby daddy? Is that Riley daddy? I couldn't remember. Oh, no. Sorry, y'all. Think Block. Okay. Different people, please. Ooh, I probably should scratch that. Sorry, Candy. Sorry. But anywho, the conversation goes nowhere and Portia ends up walking away. Kelly and her children. As she preparing for this trip, who gonna watch the kids? Uncle Lamont is going to do it, which is her assistant, personal assistant / whatever friend. Because obviously, the daddies ain't doing nothing, so they can't be home by themselves. And I just noticed that they're going at the start of school year, so makes me wonder, are we getting a Carnival situation? Because Carnival, Labor Day, Caribbean, hey, Juve. Okay, if you know where that comes from, because we watched enough TV to know you got to be watching the TV. Lamont lets Kelly know that, hey, I talked to your ex. I called them and I was on your behalf, and mine, because, I know y'all both, this and that. But he didn't get no resolve either. You know, he was trying to be a friend to, I guess, trying to get, his name is Mark, to budge just a little bit, ease up the reins on Kelly, and try to, you know, be a bigger person, be a better man in this situation, and, you know, negotiate uh, respectfully, okay, and fairly, okay, because we can literally split things down the middle. If she was trying to do like, or we can, you know, 60-40, because I think, is it her business alone? I'm not sure how it go, but, you know, something better than what he doing now. And basically, he told him, nah, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't budging, whatever. And I don't know if he ever told Lamont to F you, but I mean, I could probably imagine, but I don't know. They probably, depending on their relationship, but, you know, we don't really know him like that. So it is what it is. So we at the airport. Everybody's meeting up for the most part, except for Drew, because why you want to be late all the goddamn time? And you want to be late to miss. I really wish she actually would have missed the flight. Now that, because bitch, why is you late? But anywho, all the ladies get to meet Phaedra. You know, pleasantries. Hey, nice to see you. Nice to know you. Hopefully, get to know you very well. And of course, there was a couple slight little shade, you know, flying around here, mainly on Phaedra part, because Angela, as we all thought that Angela was older than what she is, she's not. Okay, she actually closer to Portia's age, um, than versus Nini's age. Or should I say Phaedra age, because while she trying to act like she's some type of spring chicken girl. So we end up getting to Grenada, okay? I don't know. I kind of actually want to go now that I actually saw the entrance and pleasantries. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's because, you know, you watch enough things, you see, like, okay, so that's where that's from. Yeah, I might need to add that onto the bucket list, okay? Grenada, okay? Because we going, okay? But either way, woo, and I don't know, yeah, the chocolate dark. I mean, Jesus Christ. Where's the beef? Where is the beef? Let me stop, because before we even get to the villa, we got to ride the Sprinter bus. And the ladies are split, right? And I think who was in the one car? They both were kind of actually pretty quiet, if you ask me. But the one, I think, with Phaedra was in it, with Drew and Angela and them. She was the one that was asking, right, like, who got the beef? What's going on? This and this and that. Angela was just letting her know that, I mean, pretty much it's Drew. Drew got the beef with everybody. It's Drew versus everybody at this point. So it is what it is. And of course, shady Faye gotta say, like, okay, Drew, because, you know, Phaedra don't know nobody at this point. Everybody you bring up to Phaedra, we need somebody to get the clips of each time, because the bitch don't know nobody. Is well, she did this, and I don't know. You know, yeah, girl, she was in that one movie maybe, and then that one show. Okay. All right, so we do arrive to the villa, and the way it's set up is going to be 2 people to a room, or 2 people to a villa, however you want to call it. Brittany and Phaedra, because we're in the list was made up just to kind of split people up so that people can get to know each other, okay? So we got Brittany and Phaedra, Angela and Portia, Cynthia and Drew, and of course Shamia and Kelly. Okay. Of course, little shades in the confessionals as they get picked, because, you know, Phaedra, well, I get to know this girl about town. You know, maybe I can learn a thing or two. And then we got Angela. Well, I can keep Portia good that I can sleep with her. Cause like, look, it ain't over it. She ain't at Charles' house. I can watch her. I know exactly where she at. She ain't with my man. Cynthia and Drew, they ended up getting the twin bedrooms. with the bunk beds or something like that. Or actually, it wasn't even bunk beds; it was just twin beds. Drew volunteered to say, "Well, I'll take that." Um, yeah, kind of regretted it later because her room wasn't as spectacular as Cynthia's. But hey, push them bitches together, you be alright. Hell, you smaller than her anyway. You know, Cynthia model, tall, Amazonian. Okay, she needs room, and she older. Okay, you know. So while the ladies are unpacking and getting to know their rooms, Shamia and Kelly just talking on the side, and bringing up this Drew beef. Like it's imaginary on Shamia's part because Drew, like, what the hell, you making posts on social media and you're tagging me? So what's she's kind of missing the mark here. Like, what's going on? Like, I thought we was cool, but then you do this. So Cynthia and Drew are talking, and Cynthia's just asking about dating life and things like that. Like, ooh, you can't, you gonna have so much fun, Drew, once you get there, this and that. She found her Amsterdam or something. I can't even remember his dang name. Look, I'm like, Amsterdam, Alabaster. I don't know. Either way, she got her a little somebody, even though she been through her 2 divorces. You still find love out there. It's all about what you're looking for, how you feeling in the moment, this and that, and where you looking and where you are in life, right? So of course Drew, I'm not dating yet because I'm not divorced yet, this and that. I'm gonna wait and woo. She explains how she had that sit down with Portia, and she feels like Portia was just trying to be spiteful just to get back at her. Because like I said, it was a tit for tat situation on Portia's end. Like, girl, you just keep bringing up stuff to prove what kind of point. I think, yeah. So for me, that's where I'm missing that point. Like, girl. So maybe if that's the way Drew thinking, then yeah, like the fuck. where I don't even understand it. But it is what it is. Cynthia, her confessional is like, well, hell, it sounds like a truce to me at this point, but they don't want to accept it. So they go to dinner. They talking about the funeral home business that Phaedra got going on. It's still booming and doing good. Shamia was piquing a little interest a little bit. Like, I don't know if that's your thing. Go ahead. Um, the car ride to dinner, it was a bit crickets in the car that Drew and Portia was in, which, I mean, why would they put them in the same car? But it is what it is. They get to dinner. Something about this, talking about some naked neighbors, looking at some people. Was that a Phaedra conversation? Because Phaedra be on her weird ass sneaky freaky shit. Like, girl, I don't even know. Happy endings, anybody had that in a massage? Me personally, no. I've only had a few massages, and that was not part of the package. Kelly over there, on the other hand, was just kind of like, wouldn't you like to know? So we get to dinner, and Drew and Shamia pretty much go, I wouldn't say go at it at this moment, but they go at it, okay? Because this lapdog thing. So that's what really Shamia mad about, because why you keep calling me a lapdog? That ain't right. Um, and Drew's like, well, that's because you are, and this and that. And what she really mad at is because she went back and told Portia about oh, I could pay for Pilar's college fund type thing or whatever with the money I'm gonna make from this music that I'm making with Dennis. And you flipped it to make it seem like I was trying to be shady or malicious or whatever about it. So yeah, Shamia trying to tell her, like, well, you said those things, so I don't know, like, and I think everybody else was maybe in agreement just to say, like, okay, the words of saying pay for college, like, technically it is a read a little bit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think you can say it in any kind of nice way. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. And of course, she jokes a lot as she likes to say. So whatever, it was more of a joke than a read or shade, and you flipped it on me. So the lap dog thing keeps going because she calls it, oh, well, a hit dog gon' holler. Like, what? And everybody's like, listen, now we're, you know what I'm saying, Drew, now you're going too far. Because we, at that point in the conversation, we was breaking it down just a little bit. Or, you know, but you just keep egging it on. So, I don't know how Portia got dragged into this conversation. How did she get dragged into this conversation? But somehow she did, which flipped it and she shut it down. Because it was like, okay, because it was bringing up Shamia's and her relationship. And she's like, oh, well, we talked about it and we are good and that's all y'all need to know. So we can move on. And literally they did. So yeah, they flipped it off of, Portia flipped it off of her, and it bounced to Kelly, and Kelly brings it back to Drew because she's like, well, Drew, pretty much you got beef with everybody except for Cynthia. So the issue is you, and the common denominator is you. Okay. So Drew's like, well, okay, well, when it comes to Portia, because, you know, Drew versus everybody, okay, whatever. It's not versus everybody technically, but Portia over here, we was trying to talk, but she didn't want to hear me. Like, I don't got no problems with her. She the one that got the problem with me. And Portia like, okay, well, listen. Because Portia's actually, in this episode, was pretty good at dodging all the bullets that was coming at her, flipping it, and moving it on, okay? Because she just did it pretty much right here and was like, look, I probably didn't use the best words in, was it the first episode or second episode? Might have been the first episode. When she called her, you were low down. You were low down, dirty dog. Or whatever she said. You were low down, dirty individual. And yeah, she just, you know, those were the best words that she probably could have used, and she probably could have handled the situation a little bit differently. Okay, so they're just gonna move on with no expectations on the friendship. Okay, because you brought up dating blank or blank, because we couldn't say the name of who it was, but somebody gonna look it up. Somebody let me know. And now I'm mad again. And Drew like, well, girl, what if the shoe was on the other foot? Like, what do you mean? How do you think I feel? Oh man. Whew. When I tell you, I was like, this was some mess, right? And then here go Brittany. I just want to say, because Kelly was like, I got this rose quartz crystal. I got a couple around here somewhere in the house, but it's like a crystal for love, you know, positivity, stuff like that, right? So you don't talk unless you got the crystal or something like that. Brittany said, oh, well, I got something to say. And she gonna say, hey, Phaedra, I just want to let you know, and, you know, she talks like this. I just want to let you know that Apollo, he came to a party, and, you know, I don't know him like that. I never dated him or nothing, but my husband knows him, and he was invited. Yeah, something to that nature. And everybody was looking at her like, huh? Where did that come from? I don't know. Brittany, maybe she might have been sipping a little bit that day, and it might have just caught up to her at that moment. But either way, she wanted to clear that up with Phaedra. Phaedra like, girl, I don't even know. I don't even care. Everybody like, sure. But it did break up that whole conversation, and everybody got to move on from there. So that was kind of good. And that was the end of the episode. So we will have to catch the next one where I guess the real stuff really starts up. And this was chapter 1. So chapter 2, and this was chapter 1, the reset, because we got Phaedra in the mix. So that means from the rest of here on to the end, it should be a whole new vibe situation going on. Hopefully good. And then we got the reunion. All right.